I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, traditionally at this time, we have an invocation. See Ruth, if you care to give an invocation. Thank you. Amen. Hey, Kim, would you call the roll?
Mayor Gotway.
Here.
Alderman Costello.
Here.
Alderman Detweiler. Here. Alderman Gittmeyer. Here. Alderman Johnson.
Here.
Alderman Whitteman. Alderman Wilson.
Here.
Okay, Keith texted, said that he could not join us. Didn't have enough bandwidth to log on to join us remotely. So, consent agenda. Motion to approve the consent agenda.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Got a second? Mark and Ryan? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the consent agenda is approved. Public comments, Kim?
Yes, Ruth Earhart.
Sorry. This.
Joel King.
I would appreciate if you would. Good guy. I like it.
Joel King, 2 Toussaint Drive. First, reference the speed humps on Stump Road. Last week, Channel 2 News had a special on there, speed humps in the city of St. Louis. And they talked about how well they work and how well they are controlling the speeding traffic. So I decided I'm going to call the St. Louis Street Department and find out about what are you guys paying for these things. And I realize everything's different in that, and they even said it depends upon if they're asphalt or concrete, but the average cost is between $5,000 and $7,500. And I realize that doesn't take into the redoing this, the drawings and all that, but I don't think that's an astronomical amount to ask for if it's for safety. And in reference to the numbers from the speed tests that, with the lights and all that they had up there, I was doing 2 lanes. 2 lanes, right? 2 lanes are on Stump Road right now. Put 3 lanes on there and then put that thing up there and see how fast they're going. You don't need to. You know how fast they're going to go. I get people past me on Feisty Road, and I just asked the officer back there, that is against the law. The same thing is going to happen here. I'm telling you. And in reference to the mayor's comment about everybody like on Bates Road and that, I don't know if those roads are used as a cut through or not. Stump Road's a cut through. period. People use it to avoid Bryan Road. So they will be speeding. So the odds are we're gonna have more traffic than them. I would also like to comment on Ruth's thing about the video. That was a joke what happened last time. Just when Mike got up and was speaking about all the stuff that was said about him, the video's gone. Isn't that a miracle? And now the video is completely gone. I mean, it's ridiculous. And now one more thing, Cora Marie. I want to know, I wish the attorney would actually, at the end of this meeting, tell us how they can get by with allowing traffic from Prairie Encore free. Our ordinances state that they can't do that. And just because, oh, the board approved the drawings or whatever, that doesn't make it legal. So why are they allowing it? And I don't know, can the attorney talk to us at all or not? I don't know if that's legal, but that's all I got to do for now. Thank you very much.
My name is Cheryl Bratton. My husband Larry and I live on Cruden Bay Court in Inverness subdivision. At the last board meeting, I briefly mentioned that when I was a teenager, my mom informed me I was Republican and as such would vote for Richard Nixon in my first presidential election. Of course, I voted for McGovern. Why? Because I could. In the 70s, ignoring parental instructions was described as disrespect. But May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and the new label given to such behaviors is now known as oppositional defiance. Remarkably, after reading a series of articles on the topic, I've concluded that Garden Prairie's government and teenagers have a lot in common. The first sign of oppositional defiance is the refusal to comply with simple requests. At home, kids are asked to make their beds. In Garden Prairie, we ask the city to schedule town hall meetings so citizens can get answers to questions in real time. Simple demands should beget simple fixes. Yet kids' bedrooms are still a wreck, and there hasn't been a town hall meeting in over a year. It's been a full month since we requested a meeting specifically about Cora Marie. Nothing. The second sign of defiance is engaging in behaviors intended to annoy or upset others. The mic seems to work perfectly during bingo. And it's ironic that a Little League coach speaks at one meeting, asks for a pitching machine, and within a month, there's a request for board action. The city doesn't want to upset the bingo players or the coaches, but apparently it's okay to annoy everyone else by your refusal to upgrade a less than adequate sound system. The third example of oppositional behavior is when you blame others for your mistakes. Clearly, the audio was tampered with during the last board meeting, and the YouTube video of the meeting was taken down. It was May 1st, the same night citizen safety was ignored. While the board was in closed session, this room was a powder keg. Law enforcement arrived after we called them, but later they told us the meeting wasn't on their calendar. Why not? Certainly, you don't intend to blame the cops. Lastly, those with defiant behaviors ignore rules and guidelines. The 3-minute speaker limit is applied right down to the nanosecond, yet the loud and disruptive behavior of the man sitting behind me on May 1st was allowed to continue until I asked that he be silenced. He didn't stop, but he was quieter and was allowed to stay. Had he not been invited here by the mayor, the gentleman certainly would have been escorted out. Citizen expectations of this government's behavior are neither unreasonable nor unattainable. Clearly, the city is well past the age of adolescence, yet continues to exhibit behaviors consistent with oppositional defiance disorder. Grow up, do better. And for the record, my mom went to her grave believing I voted for Nixon.
Good evening. My name is Vernon Carter. I live with my wife in Pinnacle Point subdivision. we want to show our support for Mike Oslo. Mike definitely lives his life way with character, integrity, and transparency. He is an outstanding alderman and businessman, and definitely a patriot. He does and always will do the right thing for us now and in the future. Thank you, Mike.
That was the last speaker.
Last speaker? Okay. The public hearing, we're going to postpone. Oh, we'll open it and then we're gonna postpone it. So, a motion to open a public hearing,
So move.
so move. Second,
Second.
okay, all in favor to open a public hearing?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Public hearing is open, but I need a motion to postpone it because there's no one here to speak on it. So we'll leave it open till the next meeting. So
It's just a motion
to continue it to the next meeting.
make a motion to continue the public hearing to the next meeting.
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hear none, the public hearing for the villas at Garden Prairie Phase 2 postponed or continued. Well, next meeting. New business. Entertain a motion to read Bill 2422 for the first time.
Make a motion to read Bill 2422.
Second.
And a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? There are none. James, will you read Bill 22 or 2422?
For Bill 2422, an ordinance of the city of Garden Prairie, Missouri, approving the record plat for condos at Town Center and authorizing the city clerk to attest and certify approval of said plat.
Any discussion or debate?
I would suggest a second reading just because this is a ministerial act of the city. So it already been approved also by planning and zoning.
Okay, so
Make a motion, Bill 2422 for the second time for the administration purposes.
had a motion to read Bill 2422 for a second time. Had a second?
A second.
Had a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? There are none. James, will you read Bill 2422?
Bill 2422, an ordinance of the city of Garden Prairie, Missouri, approving the record plat for condos at Town Center and authorizing the city clerk to attest and certify approval of said plat.
Any discussion or debate?
Move for a roll call vote.
Had a motion for a roll call vote?
Before we do, can I make we always ask, is everything in order? Anything outstanding on this, to your knowledge?
Everything's been flushed out, yes.
And I'll
Tim, would you
second.
call the roll?
I'll second.
Alderman Detweiler. Aye. Alderman Kessler.
Aye.
Alderman Wilson.
Aye.
Alderman Gettemeyer.
Aye.
Alderman Johnson.
Aye.
Ordinance 2302.
Declare Bill 22 or 2422 as ordinance 2302.
Motion to read Bill 2423.
Got a motion to read Bill 2423 for the first time, title only. Do I hear a second?
Second.
A second by Alderman Wilson. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hear none. James, will you read Bill 2423 by title first time?
Bill 2423, an ordinance of the city of Garden Prairie, Missouri, authorizing the city administrator to execute a common agreement between the city and St. Charles County Economic Development Council for economic development services.
Any, go ahead.
As I said, we didn't have a conversation about this during the work session, but this is just a continuation of our triennial agreement with the Economic Council here in St. Charles County. To start for annual 3-year, or not an annual, but a triennial contract Our portion of the dues did go up a little bit this year. I don't have the agreement in front of me, unfortunately. They hadn't gone up in a little while, so, but everything else, pretty much as far as the relationship, our rights as members to have a seat on the council is it's the same.
There an exhibit I thought I saw.
Yeah, there should be the actual agreement.
Okay.
The amount, I think, should be in there.
Yeah, I think we're missing exhibit A. I'm gonna,
What's that?
I thought it mentioned that.
There's only one
There it is.
exhibit.
Oh, never mind. There it is.
Yeah, that's all there.
In accordance with the rules of order, while I would move to postpone the second reading until the next.
This is just an administrative agreement that we.
Everything's an administrative agreement if you find it loosely.
Well, I mean, in reality, I mean, policy changes, law changes, zoning changes, those were all the things that the board. And quite frankly, I was the one that brought this to. I can tell you that, again, what's common practice for any other community is going to be renewing a contract like this. I don't see us not renewing this. Is it this is not an ministerial act like the last one, but it is an administrative action that board so chooses to continue the relationship with the EDC. This is what it is. It's non-negotiable. We're not going back to change the agreement or negotiate pricing or anything like that. That's something that might be a policy change, a law change, ordinance change. I can see that those are things that we would like to vet out over the course of a couple meetings. That was the purpose of doing that. This is an agreement that every city signs. Let's take it or leave it. I don't know what there's to think about for 2 more weeks. We don't have to do it. I agree, but
No,
if there's any questions, I'm sure I can answer those.
but we do have to do it because we do have to keep in with the economic or development of our city. That's
So-
part of it.
I think Alderman Detweiler was going to ask a little bit about what the EDC does.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
Sure.
just because I'm
Sure.
new, I don't really know what
Absolutely.
our contract with them or what we're paying them to do or what the whole.
Sure. So, so the EDC covers the entirety of St. Charles County. Not every city is a member, but we are a member. I think at this point, certainly all large cities are members. Part of what they do, they are that conduit between us, sort of the larger regional effort to bring businesses to the region. So their job is not to do something like help us find a coffee shop on the corner per se. However, we've got large tracts of land on like technology. We've worked with them at the industrial property over at Weldon Spring Road and Technology to help connect us with larger regional site selectors for commercial industrial properties. They do get a lot of leads that they siphon over to us. They also do a lot of regional planning for the economic development. A lot of that we get ancillary benefits, not necessarily a direct benefit. So obviously when we have employers, GM, other things that come to the region that maybe our residents work at, but we don't necessarily derive direct tax benefit from, that's the kind of benefit that they give. And our dues allow us a seat at the table in the governance. So we do hold one of the board positions.
Are dues
So-
based on
Population
revenue?
size.
Populations.
So it's different for businesses to be members or other organizations, cities, we set it on our size.
In addition, kind of touch on it a little bit, but outside of this, they do a lot for business development, including an incubator over next to the yeah, right on Mid Rivers, down near the animal shelter. Amazing stuff. They've launched some really cool businesses that have grown and really helped to develop St. Charles County. So great organization.
Also works with the youth a lot too. Business
Yep.
development.
And they do offer, I'll say I have leveraged their experience in the past, and whenever I've been researching things that may impact economic development activities within St. Charles, they're always able to provide that feedback to Aldermen. I would still seek a second on my motion.
Can you justify that? For what reason?
I'm sorry, can you?
I mean,
My motion was to postpone the second reading of this to the next meeting.
Second.
Thank you.
I mean, so that you can have more time going through this contract or
Well, it's not
Move for a roll call
administrative.
vote.
it's out of order?
That out of order
Yes.
on a
completely
seconded
out of
motion.
order. Completely out of order. So
When a parliamentary inquiry, is it inappropriate to ask for a
I'll
vote
ask
on
for
a
the
seconded?
vote. I'm just asking for a reason for it. So we got a motion to postpone it
And a second.
in a second.
So now it's discussion.
So,
So now there's discussion on the motion.
yeah. Now, let's have a discussion on the motion of why we would like to postpone it.
It's not administrative, doesn't meet the criteria.
It's within our rules of order and my interpretation of our rules of order would say that this would go to the next meeting. And I apologize, Laura. I realize I cut you off. I didn't. mean to.
I don't see any benefit to it.
I mean, typically it
That
goes
is-
to the next meeting so you could have, the board can have more time to review it and
Point of
understand it.
inquiry.
It's a-
Was the proper motion to force a vote on a properly seconded
Call the
motion?
question. Move the previous question.
Move the previous question.
Second,
Second, again.
Okay. Kim, would you, a roll call vote?
Voice vote.
I'm
Well,
fine with a voice vote.
You want a roll call vote?
I don't care. Do a roll call vote?
Alderman Johnson,
yay,
Alderman Gettemeyer,
Aye.
Alderman Wilson,
Aye.
Alderman Castlo,
Aye.
Alderman Detweiler. Aye.
Okay, motion approved. We'll extend it to the next meeting.
That's just the end of it.
Okay, now, we got a motion for a postponement
Now we can have a voice vote if you want.
or roll call vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hear none. Bill 2423 will be postponed till the next meeting. Okay, entertain a motion to read Bill 2424 for the first time. At
so
all.
move,
At a first? Second?
Second,
The second? Laura? All in favor?
all right,
Aye.
Any opposed? Hear none. James, will you read Bill 2424 for the first time by title?
Bill 2424, an ordinance of the city of Garden Prairie, Missouri, amending various sections of the municipal code of the city of Garden Prairie, Missouri, and providing for certain personnel policies.
Any discussion or debate? Hear none?
If there is none, I'll move to postpone this to the next meeting.
Got a motion to postpone to the next meeting? All in favor? Or a second?
second,
And a second? All in favor?
Aye.
aye,
Any opposed? Hear none? Bill 2424 is postponed to the second meeting. Second reading. We got a motion to read Bill 2425 for the first time by title only.
move to postpone that, so we could,
Well-
reading,
the
understanding
changes.
changes. Move to postpone,
Postpone it. Okay, we're gonna postpone the reading to revise per the discussion in the work session.
yes,
Okay. Got a motion to postpone Bill 2425 till the next meeting? Got a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hear none? First reading is postponed. Okay,
got a motion to read 2426 for the first time,
got a motion to read Bill 2426.
Did you hear?
There a second?
yeah, second,
Second? Right, all in favor?
I,
Any opposed? Okay, hearing none. James, will you rebuild 2426?
Bill 2426, an ordinance of the city of Dayton Prairie, Missouri, authorizing the city administrator to execute a Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission and City of Dayton Prairie for Transportation Alternatives Program, Transportation Alternatives Program Grant, TAP Program Agreement to fund the Henning Road Trail Improvement.
Motion to read Bill 2426 for a second time due to getting the funding from the TAP grant.
A second.
Got a second? All in favor?
I,
Any opposed? Hearing none. James, will you rebuild 2426?
Bill 2426, an ordinance of the city of Dayton Prairie, Missouri, authorizing the city administrator to execute Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission grant with the city of Dayton, Prairie for a Transportation Alternatives Program grant, TAP Program Agreement to fund the Henning Road Trail Improvement.
Move for roll call
Just
vote.
real quick, if I may, because it may be confusing to folks that some things are postponed, some things are not. This in particular, why I gave my second, this is accepting a grant that was previously discussed. It's not making any changes or entering into any new contracts or anything like that beyond just accepting the grant to get a project moving that's already been discussed. So I will second Alderman Johnson's motion.
For roll call vote.
For a roll call vote, Kim, would you call the roll?
Alderman Gettlemeyer,
I,
Alderman Wilson,
Aye.
Alderman Costello,
Aye.
Alderman Detweiler,
Aye.
Alderman Johnson.
Aye.
Ordinance 2303.
I declare Bill 2426 is ordinance 2303. Old business. Bill 2421.
Move to read Bill 2421 for a second time.
A motion to read Bill 2421 for a second time.
second,
Got a second? Laura, all in favor?
I,
Any opposed? James, would you read Bill 2421 for a second time?
Bill 2421, an ordinance of the city of Dayton Prairie, Missouri, providing for and relating to a stop sign in the city of Dayton Prairie and establishing a permanent stop at the intersection of Pierside Drive, Harborside Drive with traffic regulations and fines for violation to be controlled by the St. Charles County Police Department.
After going out there and looking at this and sitting there for quite a while, it's definitely needed. That stop sign.
Okay.
And I don't know if anybody else went out there and looked at that. I don't know why one wasn't put there in the first place. It's
Got a
move
motion
for a
roll
roll
call
call vote.
vote by Mark? Second?
second,
Got a second by Laura? Kim, would you call the roll?
Alderman Costello,
Aye.
Alderman Johnson,
Aye.
Alderman Detweiler. Aye. Alderman Wilson,
Aye.
Alderman Gettlemeyer.
I,
Ordinance 2304.
I declare Bill 2421 is ordinance 2304. Staff communications, city attorney, city engineer,
Nothing further, Mayor.
okay? City administrator.
I did want to, just in regard to the comments that were made during public comments, the issue regarding Cormery Drive, I know has been inquired about from the city multiple times. I know that our planning and development director, our manager, wrote a very lengthy opinion based upon our code and best practices, and I'd be happy to share that again with the board and put it on our website for anybody who wants to see it. For anybody who's concerned about that, I was not aware because I was out unfortunately for a personal reason at the last meeting, but I have before. I'm always happy to meet with residents if they have concerns. I'm not aware of a request for a town hall or anything, but certainly if any of the residents wish to reach out to me, we can have a conversation about it. So, excuse me.
Missed it. I missed it. Sorry.
Yeah, it's all right.
The board hadn't asked me for any, so just
Okay, well, I mean, again, I would encourage any residents who want to have a conversation. Want to come meet here, in this room or a smaller venue, the conference room down the hall, happy to go over that. And also bring Todd, our planning and development manager, who gave a very detailed, very clear interpretation of both the the roadway plan and the guidance that is given by our code, so. Don't know which. I'm here all day. I'm happy to have anybody come by and visit or call, so. I have nothing further.
Okay, I just
Can I
want to say
make a
our,
comment about the audio? Is the microphone fixed now? Because it sounded really clear tonight, but it seems like audio is a continuing problem, which makes us look incompetent because it doesn't seem to be fixed. It seems to be a
I'm pretty sure it's operator error on everything that's going on here. That, yes, it's not the system, it's how it's set up. We have multiple people come in here and use it throughout the week. Okay, especially on Wednesday. Yes, the microphone, the system, they use the, every time the Wednesday group uses it, we have issues with it. But it's those settings on that computer that it changes all the time.
And I'd like to make a comment real quick. Real quick comment, because I know that we've talked about getting this fixed for a while. I want to put myself out there. I have had a hard time finding time to work with James, my schedule, not his, on getting that SAL put together, statement of work put together to bring something to the board, to solicit some vendors to come out. I'll make a commitment that I will find time one way or another to get with James before the next meeting so that we can put that together. But again, that's my schedule, not his. We'll get that done.
I do want to acknowledge the issue that occurred at the last meeting. So I believe the board, I was not here again, but the board did go into a closed session, at which time the city engineer that was sitting in stopped the recording, obviously, as they went into closed session, and then started a new recording. When the new recording was started, there was no audio for that entire second half of the meeting. I believe it's due to the fact, and I try before every meeting to go over here and test everything, which is everything's working very well tonight because I went over there and tested and made sure everything was working. Everything was adjusted because, as the mayor said, every Wednesday, BNI comes in here and messes with everything. So the business navigator group, they come in here and have the meetings. So unfortunately, if you use the new Teams, I can't figure out why, maybe Mike and I can work on this. Use the new Teams to do the video, the audio doesn't work. You have to use the classic Teams that's still, so the updated Teams is why I think the second time you must have opened up the wrong one and it's no audio, because when I tested it today, I had that problem. I had to go back and use the old, the legacy software. So we do need to get that fixed before the next meeting, because it did say that it's not going to be available very much longer. So
Yeah.
I have a feeling that's why it happened. I will say, because of everything that transpired at that meeting, and because the full totality of the comments in the rebuttal was not captured, it was decided that it was best not to put any of it out. There's no reason to put out one statement without the opportunity that was provided in the meeting, but not captured in the video, to provide the other information that was provided to the other side, so to speak. So that was out of fairness, quite frankly, to Alderman Costello, that was removed. So that is why there's no video from the last time, because we are not putting out information said at the podium, but not rebutted at the dais. And it was taken down as soon as it was realized there was no audio. So
Yeah, if I can say one thing about our amazing city clerk, she always has a backup. And she told me today that if anyone wants that, they can request that record. But she does, the microphones that are sitting over there in front of her are recording. So appreciate that forethought and making sure that we're covered from multiple angles.
Can I just ask a question? When these other groups come in, whoever they are, and use the system, can we not have somebody come in and turn the system on for whatever they need? So they don't have to mess with it?
We've been doing that lately and um, it's gotten better because of that. Some of the issues with the microphone itself might be issues with the microphone, but also oftentimes speakers oftentimes clutch it and turn it off all the time. I mean, I hold that microphone all the time and right there where your thumb is. People turn it on and off once they speak and it happens and probably need a better microphone too. As well as other issues that, Mike's gonna help me identify. So, but yeah, we've been taking more proactive approaches on that and tried to not let them touch things. So,
Oh,
it's made it a lot easier to get it right for the meeting. I spent less time dealing with it, so.
Well, the microphone sounded really good tonight.
Well, that's because I spent an hour in here getting it all back to normal.
Yeah.
And we realize that that's just the limitation of previous IT person who decided that this was the way to go. I mean, these do not capture a wide cone for the microphones. And there's not even enough for every person up here. The idea was at the time, from what I understand, wasn't here, that they were going to use these and then somehow they could have less, but it captures everything at the dais. But the cone that, it collects from, the sound, it's not that big and if you turn it up, the sensitivity, which we've tried, you get feedback and it just becomes a bigger mess. So. And we are working on a statement of work. So. It is both. Really clear what's next sentence, I have no idea what they're talking about. We'll work on it.
He charges extra for that.
Mayor. Hopefully adjournment.
Okay, I make a motion to adjourn.
Oh.
Or, well.
Did you have comments? Because it's your time. Or did you call up for Alderman comments yet?
Yeah.
I
No.
thought I did. No,
You skipped.
okay, Alderman got comments? Go ahead.
I do have some comments.
Yeah, all right.
No, I want to show out and thank my neighbor, Cheryl and Mark, for making cookies for all the board members and the mayor. They were excellent cookies. I want to make sure that we work together as a team. So that's my peace offering to everyone. Secondly, I am looking into about EV chargers for electric cars. I want to definitely look into that. I'm listening to videos about finding a charging station. I went through my ward and didn't see any in the apartments as well as any other places around. So I want to look into that for the city of Darting Perry. Two other quick things. I want to work with Nicole, our events person, to do a kind of a back to school event for our youth and parents within Darting Perry, mainly because we want to make sure our parents are prepared for college and beyond, even our union fields as well too. Lastly, I do agree. As a new board member, I would like to do a town hall or a state of the city to make sure that residents know who we are, to make sure that I am doing my job for them. So anything that I can do to support a town hall, that'd be great, just for my purposes as a new board member. That's all.
Okay, anybody else?
Yes, and I guess I'm going to direct this to the residents. What type of town hall meeting are you looking for? What type of agenda are you asking for a whole board to be here for a town hall meeting, or what are you actually looking for? No,
our subdivision meetings. It's been a year that we asked for. The last one was a year ago.
And what I'm asking also is, would you like for as many people, the board to attend as possible, or do you just want to speak to the mayor?
The last.
So one item that I would add on to that, prior to this last election, I had asked about having a, one weekend a month, one Saturday morning a month or something like that, having each of the wards take a Saturday morning and just come out and invite residents up to talk, kind of open hours if it were. Legal issues there with doing it right before an election, the appearance of campaigning, using the city funds and things like that, which I fully understand. But now the election's over, I'd like to take that back up, maybe put some guardrails around it to protect us legally, but make it set a framework for folks to come up and talk to their alderman in a casual setting.
How does that work with? Are we restricted under a quorum of too many for a town hall meeting, or?
I think we would.
It would have to be posted if there's 4 or more.
No, I
I mean,
understand
but
that.
2 or 3 could
Right,
be
but I mean,
anytime
we
you
could
want.
post it and open it up to everybody.
Well, then we'd have to, it'd be a bigger production then, wouldn't it? Because you'd have to have someone scribing and things like that, right? I would recommend, yeah.
We don't transcribe. the meetings.
I would recommend just, each ward take a weekend or something like that, but details that we should chat about maybe in the next workshop.
I mean, I'm open to it. I just.
Yeah.
Didn't know. And I think that'd be very good to prepare, especially if an alderman's gonna answer a question, prepare himself for what, the question you're asking. And I think that's a great idea.
All right. Yeah. Carl?
And then if we get it on, working, whatever.
Carla, did you have something?
Yeah, I do. I know this subject has come up several times before. When I attended the I-70 meeting that they had, in Wentzville, they said they were going to, I think it'll be the last part of it, but they are going to expand 40 from K up to the, new interchange that they're going to be doing.
40.
Huh?
The 340.
That's for
And all the way up
Yeah,
to
all the way to
Wentzville.
Wentzville.
Yeah, but 340 is gonna be redone also.
340.
364 page extension, yeah.
So I guess my whole question is, wouldn't this be a good time for the city to really push while they're expanding 40 along that corridor? Wouldn't it be a good time for us to push to get an exit off of
We're
there?
talking to every single person that is of any position for that, and we've been talking to them for 3 years. That expansion was not supposed to be done until 2040, but because of money they have to spend, they moved it forward.
Which is a
Yes,
great opportunity.
We continue to talk to them, and yes, I mean, from state reps to the county people to East West Gateway people, yes, we have been communicating that to
Well,
them.
then, since
But
it seems to be falling on deaf ears, because nobody seems to want to help us out with that, isn't there a bond issue or something that we can do?
Their highway though.
they're
They don't
highway.
have, they have to give us permission.
Hey,
And they have to get permission from Washington DC. Because there's a
All right,
federal highway.
I'm just saying, I just think we need to really not let the opportunity go by.
Absolutely.
for
Yeah,
them
not.
to- I'm not saying you are, I'm just saying we need to push for it. Because that is where we want this big commercial area to be, and it's not gonna be if we don't get an exit. So, you know, I just think we need to do whatever we can. And above that, to try to get somebody to understand that Garden Prairie deserves an exit, just like Cottleville got an exit and just like Wentzville gets 10 exits. So, I mean, we just need to continue to push this and not let them just continue to say no and let it die. So, and I'm not saying I don't know what you're doing behind the scenes. I'm just saying, I really believe we need to really push this and take every opportunity that maybe one can to find a way for us to get ourselves in there. I mean, that's gonna be the, you know, way to get this city moving. So that's just, I'm not saying you're not doing anything. I'm just saying do a little more.
Can I turn that into a question? Is there anything that the Board of Aldermen can do to assist with this?
You know what?
I mean, I think the
If you get
board,
too many people on the board, you're gonna get in the way and you're gonna make people upset. I mean,
I think the board
Yes.
has done a great job of setting aside some money. We talked about some matching funds, which we've dangled out there to them.
if you go out on your own and start calling people and telling them that, you know, we have to do this,
That was the response I was hoping I wouldn't get, but
well,
okay.
I mean, that's the feedback I get. So I'm not, this is not coming
Yeah,
from me.
it probably isn't a discussion to have on the dais.
Okay,
So,
well, that's all. I found these papers today and it kind of reminded me that I wanted to ask about it.
Doesn't.
Since
Okay.
Keith is not here, I'd just like to thank everybody for being here and your attendance and your comments.
all right. All I want to add is our concerts begin Friday. Instead of Thursday night, we're doing Friday again, this Friday. So come join us for the concert. I entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
A second, all in favor?
Don't touch my cookie.
Board of Aldermen meeting is adjourned.
Terrible.
I'm gonna go tell them.
I don't need them.
In the St. Charles.
Look out where I live.
I do.
really not gonna like this.
In a time?
So
you do.
That's what it's not.
Yeah.
Talking about, this is the patio, your eyes. This is about 6 or 8 feet out. This is flat land. Oh, and look how tall that grass is. This is right out. No, if this from there to there, from the apartment, which is. Usually I look into that because job, you know, but.
So I came out the next day. And I took some pictures, gave it to Phil. I believe it was touched as it was concerned. And so I haven't talked to Phil in a week or so. But it was long. And so I kind of did that the next day. I honestly don't know where it's at. But we're gonna do some more collaboration. And the thought was that done.
Yeah, slowly, will be incorporated
It's a great day. So it's that day. I was ready to come out. I had my class and I feel ready to slide my. So we have, I've got things that. It definitely, not end of the world. No.
Yes. We don't have.
No, it's noted and did follow up. Was feeling, matter of fact, I'll send you right now. So I don't forget about that address. Uh-huh. Yeah, I think Harry at the front desk filled a register as something, but I don't. Yeah, I'm not part of the database, but we can look at it and, I'll follow. Uh-huh.
Arguably like cutting the grass between the street.
Well, I mean,
Right, but they don't.
get on talk to do a post.
I'd love to hear it. I mean, I'd love to hear
People
it.
go to, yeah.
That would, I think that would be a
You know,
reason
during a very golf course.
for us,
Yeah.
So that's exactly. We had just crazy amounts of. Yeah. So this guy.
Well, no, I would say you do it, I would.
You don't know what the insurance. Okay. So.
Just saying, a lot of this, it looks like it's right up to the road. It isn't. This is down a hill on flat land. Yeah, they only know.
We can get some.
6 or 8
Oh, I agree.
So I mean, again, it goes back to the right of way versus. So do they own it? Yeah. Is it right of way? Well, you know.
So, maybe is that something we should talk to residents about, or you can have some ideas?
Personally, I mean, if I was trying to get $2,200 a month for rent, I wouldn't.
That was something we
want
need
to
to
leave that out since.
That's what.
Oh, no, because
Think
they're
of it.
rough
Anyhow.
all grass.
Well, yeah, that's kind of a luxury apartment, so I feel like it's luxury feet from my sidewalk,
Yeah.
not, not beyond.
I just
I
last
do,
year,
but
I mentioned it again, and they went out and
And we made notification to them, but
Yeah.
when we looked at the aerial map and everything.
Burn it.
That's where John and I were like, oh, there might be a. Of course, if they want to push the issue, there might be an eviction issue. But I can't be done.
It's burning.
got to put the corner around that. Ryan. It all. Oh,
But that's because it's all loaded out,
I
right?
know, I know. Arnie's the one who's gonna get moved out to
Yep.
Bruce.
Yeah.
Bye, John.
City.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to roll an email. Thought I had it solved and I don't.
On your phone or just at home?
At home, on my iPad, so I may pop back in.
Yeah, well, on your iPad, what you can do, the best way to do it probably is.
This is the.
Ask me for my estimate. I don't have it. I mean, I thought I had it, but what I put in there, it's saying, it's not right, and then.
Didn't you have to add something at the end? Remember, they had to make it a little bit longer, and you had to add something.
So I'm looking for that paper I scribbled. So I went to just change it, said I forgot and change it. And they said, no, it told me I couldn't do that.
You have to be on.
Yeah, on here. This
So you can be. You can bring your iPad. Bring your iPad, file this on the cities. That way.
Yeah.
We're into the cities network.
Okay, all right.
Send everybody.
All right. Okay, are you? I got most of
So
them.
tomorrow morning, we've got, got non-flight stuff for construction gates and lifestyle meetings.
Oh, no, I'm planning to be there. I'm planning to be there.
Because you hear a lot about.
All back and stuff.
It's not too terribly.
So she can sit and listen, all the conversations.
Oh,
I'm just scared.
God really.
They don't want to deal with it because
Here's their saying, okay? They say from day one, and you see it on this, that's from my very. Don't think if you build it, they will come. If you build a highway, you're gonna get your business. No, you get your business, letter of intent. Something.
I'm on.
But-
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. I saw that. That's the big.
Every other year. Design that.
So,
And
that's almost.
The unfortunate reality is, so a lot of those people, the first thing they say is, you got an exit right there.
Because I don't know where else.
How long, the first thing they say is, how close?
If we don't.
I'm a little disappointed.
Then we talk about, well.
Next time. I'm gonna leave a drop off.
Shane, if you do that, just say you want warm.
How we got, you cannot have an off ramp.
Part one, it's part of an.
Others. Assistant.
I'll tell you how much it like to, I pointed out, we pointed out, and we said, look at.
That's what right there, 364 is anymore. It's literally
Yeah,
everything that.
everything that you're saying.
Getting off
Yeah.
on the Yuki or.
Right.
It's right there. I said, that's exactly what I'm talking about. He was like,
Perfect.
yeah, but that's not our standards. I go, but you did it.
Yeah.
His response was, "But we're not like, yeah, it's like, it was mad.
Yeah, that's the right look at bring you to.
Jackass who mowed out, we charge it.
Yeah.
Well,
You didn't know, we didn't know. We were warned by the chairman of the transportation committee.
Yeah.
He goes, he's over there.
Over there, he goes, he
Or.
told us, he said, this is exactly what he's gonna tell you, and that's exactly what he told us, okay? The issue with
Yeah,
ODOT
there
now
was-
is the
Highway commission.
Congress, of
There was a guy.
the
They don't.
state and the Senate, okay?
Stump Road.
They have been, MoDOT has been taking the money and
Had a whole
controlling their
plan.
own.
All solar.
They
Settle
don't
back.
have
But then.
the power anymore to say, no, you're gonna do what we tell you to do.
Didn't have.
The budget, how the budget goes is they get the money and then MoDOT does whatever
I
they
think it's Missouri Constitution. The Missouri Constitution puts all that in charge of the highway commission.
But, and
So
then,
the most
you know,
powerful
we,
people in the
we
state,
had.
7
many
unelected
conversations about
people, what about the
Yeah.
governor?
the charge.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day,
Yeah.
One, two, when we
Well,
actually built this.
I didn't mean
That's-
anything against you guys.
Built in 80,
Yeah, so, yeah.
Get all the
Just
money.
trying to avoid it.
And- City Hall.
So you're-
Definitely. That was kind of part of that whole plan. But